I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. The Florida legislative session is underway in Tallahassee. Flagler County Commissioner Dave Sullivan was among those who took a trip to the Capitol to meet with State Rep Paul Renner and State Senator Travis Hudson. He also got to speak with Governor Ron DeSantis, all to ensure that priorities for Flagler County get the funding he says they deserve.
Our MedNext program to improve educational capabilities here in the county and keep people in the county for future jobs. That's a tough fight up there, but it looks like it will be approved, at least at the House and Senate side. Maybe not fully funded this year, but there will be some money available, and that's very important. When it comes to the South Library, which is important to me, it's almost now a sure thing.
Sullivan adds construction on the library could begin by the end of this year. He says issues that remain up in the air include an airport tax and vacation rentals.
State legislators are in Tallahassee for this year's 60-day session.
Representative Paul Renner, who represents Flagler, St. Johns, Putnam, and northern Volusia counties, says that part-time job can seem like a full-time job.
So we have to have full-time jobs, even though this is really a full-time job, but we're technically part-time legislators.
Renner, who represents the 24th State House District, said that legislators spend another 3 months at the Capitol. That's where they talk about budgets and what they will need for the upcoming legislative sessions. To listen to the interview, download the Flagler radio app and then go to the Free for All Friday podcast. Tomorrow, State Rep Renner talks about health care this year and nurse practitioners. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Flagler County School Board member Colleen Conklin wants to be the district's next superintendent. She posted on Facebook that she applied for the position after much consideration and prayer. In her post, she says she's taking a leap of faith, and if it's meant to be, it'll be. She thinks together with her as superintendent, the district can do amazing things for its students. Conklin's 4 colleagues on the school board will be tasked with determining whether the assistant professor and director of Embry-Riddle's Aeronautical University's Space Institute is ready for the job. More than 24 people have applied for it. Flagler's assistant superintendent, Vernon Orndorff, originally applied for the gig but withdrew his application in favor of a position in Texas. Whoever is chosen will replace Superintendent Jim Tager, who announced last year that he's resigning at the end of this school year. A local hospital system is receiving top marks for its care. John Arking has the details.
Since 2017, Advent Health Palm Coast received a grade A for quality and safety from a nationally recognized healthcare rating organization. Wally DeGuino, the chief operating officer for Advent Health Palm Coast, says that's the result of a lot of hard work over the past few years in improving the quality of care.
And as an example, the things that they focus in looking at our processes and the outcomes as well. We have a 24/7 coverage of clinical care patients in our ICU, and this coverage is by physicians that are board certified in critical care. And that's an example of where we had a bigger impact. We looked at best practices to continue to reduce hospital-acquired infections. We're talking about the viruses. We want to make sure that the patients are getting the better care.
But DeGuino says the big news is that of 2,100 hospitals nationwide, they were recognized as among the top general hospitals, one of just 37 hospitals to receive that honor. They are the only healthcare system in Volusia, Flagler, and St. Johns County that received such a score. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
A Palm Coast hospital is getting millions from the federal government for wind protection efforts. Tony Magoo reports.
Memorial Hospital Flagler will receive nearly $3.3 million in federal grant money to strengthen the Palm Coast facility against future severe wind events. FEMA's Hazard Mitigation Grant Program has approved $3.262 million to help fund the proposed project. Wind protection measures are designed to improve the integrity of the hospital and protect all exterior openings with wind and impact-resistant systems to reduce damage from future wind events. Florida has a FEMA-approved enhanced mitigation plan, making the state eligible for HMGP funding not to exceed 20% of the estimated total amount of money spent by FEMA on disaster grants in the Hurricane Irma disaster. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.